everyone, I've come on to do my flip through from my Junk Journal January UK journal. So Junk Journal January UK was a collaboration between Bee Happy Stationery and the Vintage Button. And it was hosted by them on YouTube, and also the collaboration was between Facebook group Junk Journal Community Chatroom UK, Bee Happy Stationery, design team members and guest designers. The featured journal, which is I did use the featured journal, was from Bee Happy Stationery and Crafting Dragon Designs. It's a collaboration kit. So you can see the prompts here: intention, slow, cozy, frosted, simple, nest, snowflake, dream, gilded, favourite book or film, starry, shadows, glow, whimsy, silver, print, folded, tabs, envelope, home, rest, mismatched, contrast, balance, promise, timeless, forest, still life, softness, beginning and flip throughs. So I'm on my flip through. I'm a day late, but yeah, I am here. So here's me chonky journal. I finished it, literally just finished it. I've had a lot on. I've used this as a closure, and it's actually a scarf clip, and I use these a lot as closures on my journals because I think they look pretty, and you can just flick them open like that and open your journal. So on the front I've cut out these mice from part of the featured journal. Inside, this is for the cozy prompt, which was day 3, and inside there we have got the timeless prompt. Yeah, I made a little notebook, and using it I used book page, which I thought is a timeless element to use in your journal. And then inside there we've got a little notepad which I popped in there. Then we go through, here we've got some tags from the journal kit. I've embellished them a little bit. You can write on the back of them, and I've popped them in that pocket I made from a page of the kit. This was the slow. I did slow stitching down the edge of the page, and I'm really pleased with that, you know, and I do think I'll do that again. I was so pleased with how well it came out, really happy with that. Then on this page we've got a little corner tuck there and some little cards tucked into it, just ones from the kit that I've added in there, and you can see that I've glued them to the thing. Let's fix that while we're going through. So how I'll fix that is I'll get one of my distress inks. I've got walnut stain and brushed corduroy and gathered twigs. I think we'll go with gathered twigs. I've got a little brush here, and I'm just going to just brush over where I've glued that together. Look, I made a bit of a mess of it, but yeah, it does add a bit of vintage, I suppose, to the thing. Yeah, so that's that. And then I'll keep hold of that because I know I've done it more than once. I'm terrible for doing that. Then we have on this page another little corner tuck there. So we've got those two little tags in that little corner tuck there. And you can write on both of those. They're both plain on the back. And then this was for the soft prompt, which was some lace, some frilly lace. Gilded was this one, and I gilded the leaves on the tree with some gold, and it was heat embossing. Yeah, so I put gold on the leaves on there. I really love how that came out. This was my favourite book, which is a Edith Holden book. And I cut out part of a page of that, and inside there we have the shadows. See the shadow? That's the top of the tree, and that's the shadow of it. And then there's some shadows of that tree. So that was for the shadow prompt and also favourite book. This one was for, what was it for? Oh, it was nest, of course. This is a nest. Yeah, it's a nest, and look, I've nested some paper, and there's a secret journaling space behind there. And honestly, fancy not remembering what it was, and it's there right in front of me. This was for folded, and I folded some paper and made a pocket, and then I filled the pocket. We've got the snowflake in there, that's from the snowflake prompt. And then we've got some tags from the kit in there. Love these foxes, really love those foxes so much. And also for the folded, we've got a little envelope there, look, and it's got some tags inside it, probably glued in, knowing me. Oh no, they're not. And these are all pieces from the kit as well. So I popped those in. There's loads of writing space in this folded pocket, and I love the pocket. I love that fox as well. I do love the foxes. Yeah, so that was that page. And then we had contrast, and for contrast I used no, this was whimsical, and for whimsical I used pieces from another kit by Bee Happy Stationery and Crafting Dragon Designs. Yeah, so inside there I'd made a little tuck, and inside there popped 2 of the tags from the kit. Then I made this for, did I do that for whimsy? It was for one of the prompts. Anyway, this is it. This is my little flippy flappy thing. And then I've used the parts from the whimsical kit. Again, this was for print, and it's print from my favourite book again, and in there I've popped some of the journal tags. This bit here was for, for silver. I've done little silver dots round there, and we've got silver down here, and that is silver gilding flakes. Then we've got home on this page, and I've done a page of things that, you know, there's houses, there's a cosy family there, there's a little wardrobe. And then for rest, we've got people cozied up with some cocoa and sitting reading a book. And it says, it's okay if the only thing you do today is breathe. I love those 2 pages, I really do. Then we've got a little lady here having a cup of cocoa and some lovely foxes again. Then over here we've got the dreams, and it says, if you can dream it, you can do it. And on here it says, let your dreams be your wings. So that was the dream prompt. And inside here we have some tags, some from the featured kit, which is, I'm sure it's Winter Wonderland, and some from my stash. Then we have some tabs for the tab prompt. Over here we've got some little journaling cards popped into a corner tuck there, which I made out of a little journal card from the kit. Over here we've got mismatched. That ladybird person really doesn't match at all, does it? So for mismatched I popped that sticker on. Then this was for whimsical and contrast. I've showed the contrast between the 2 kits by using them both on these 2 pages. In fact, I've used a few pieces of that kit throughout this journal. Here we've got a little pocket with some bows on it, and inside the pocket is 2 little journaling tags. Yeah. And then over here we have the balance tag, and it says you don't always need to be getting stuff done. Sometimes it's perfectly okay and absolutely necessary to shut down, kick back and do nothing. And that's by Laurie Dechen. Yeah, over here we've got another part of the kit, and these red bits, I did go through with those, and I don't know whether I used that for simple. You know, by simply adding the little bit of red glitter, it made a big difference to those berries. I've done it on all of the berries throughout the book. Then on here we have that, this is for forest. It's a picture of a deer, and inside it we have more deer and a rabbit on those journaling cards. Yeah, it's a forest animal. I added some of these deer throughout because they were forest animal. Here we are. I need another bit of my thing there, look. There we go. For this one, this was the cozy, and it was, I've made a little booklet that I've tucked behind the elastic, which is holding the signatures in, and I decorated it with some little cozy sleeping animals, and there's loads of journaling space in there, and journaling space there too. Over here we've got more journaling space and more pages from the kit. And then for promise, I've put don't break promises to yourself. And there's another one of those little people from the whimsical kit, which I love. Over here we've got still life. That's my still life prompt. And it's a picture of some unbroken snow. I really love that. And you can see the little mice there with their red berries again. There's a tag on there. This one was for Starry. I did this wonderful double page spread for Starry. So this has got silver heat embossing on it. There are actually stars on some of these tags, not all of them, but there are actually stars on here. We've got deers and forest again on those tags as well, and then on the other tags the same. We've got one with stars on it and one without, and this pocket I glued on little gems to be was it starry? Yeah, that was that tag. And then on here we've got forest again, and I made a little notebook to pop into that pocket like that. You can either tuck it in like that, or you can tuck the whole thing in like that. And there are also some journaling cards in there. This was for folded. Yeah, I did 2 lots for folded, and I made these. Oh no, this is envelope, because it's 2 envelopes joined together. So I put, here's how I did it. Let me find these envelopes. I did show in my video how I did it, but basically I glued this one to the back of there and that one inside there like that to turn them into, obviously they're both the same size, but it turned them into a little opening up folio, as you can see. So you can decorate this or write on it, and inside both pockets there is little notebooks, some little note papers in both pockets. And I did just decorate the front there, and I've held it on with this huge paper clip, which is another favourite of mine. The huge paper clips are. Then I found these. Oh, I love them stickers so much. I found these out and started incorporating some of those in as well. We have more of the soft here. This is a rub-on. I'm a big fan of rub-ons. Over here we've got another pocket with some little journaling cards in these pockets. And then over here we've got, this was for sparkle, I think. Frosted. It was for frosted. I wanted to make the tree look frosted. I love that. It's really chunky glitter that I literally just glued on there. Love it. Then we have some writing pages. This, I loved that picture and I wanted to incorporate that, so I stuck that onto there. And then in here we have a little sticker there and more writing space. Another one of my very favourite stickers. We have more of the soft just there. We have another folded just here, and I turned this one into a notebook. You can see it's got little tucks each side. I glued the points down each side and popped in a couple of little journaling tags into each pocket. That one, and then the same on the back. 2 little journaling tags in there, and then on this side at the back I've got some of my favourite stickers again, and I've popped in a journaling card and a flip open little note page, so you can write on there if you want to, even though it's a bit creased up. Yeah. And then I have left the front pockets empty for you to tuck whatever you want in there, receipts or photographs, anything like that. And I've held it closed with a clip. And then we have the last 2 pages, which are writing pages, and then right at the end we have the beginning. Now at last they were beginning chapter 1 of the great story no one on earth has ever read, which goes on forever, in which every chapter is better than the one before. And that is by C.S. Lewis. And then on the end I've added a little pen holder with a pen and a little cute owl there. So that is my junk journal January finished. I hope you like that. Yeah, pop me a comment, let me know which bit is your favourite, which bit you would change. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that, got some inspiration from it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.